My wife and I are here from the Sacramento area, a town called Placerville, about 40 miles east of Sacramento, about 60 miles west of Lake Tahoe. Beautiful area, but no ocean. And having had lived in Hawaii, that's what was important to me. So at one point here about a year ago, we decided to start looking around for something by the ocean. We took a trip to Costa Rica, looked around, a little too far away for the wife, a little too hot on a regular basis. At one point, it came to me that I had spent some time, quite a bit of time down here. In fact, in my years at San Jose State University, I surfed. We'd come down, spend a lot of time between Rosarito and Ensenada, great surfing back in the 60s. So I mentioned to her, why don't we take a look at we're down between Rosarito and Ensenada and see what it looks like. It's been 45 years since I've been down here. So we got here and I was pleasantly surprised at the changes. It's grown dramatically. We ran into a lot of great people, and she fell in love with it, which was a real big part of the decision to come down here. And straight away we put our house in the market in about March, and were able to take care of that transaction, and came down to Rosarito for a lot of reasons. Again, the climate, the ocean, it's for me it's perfect. She enjoys it. The close proximity to home. It's a one-day drive back. We do have children in the San Francisco Bay Area, so it's a one-day drive back to see them. And it just all came together for us, and that's the reason we're here. It's a beautiful place. That was a factor of spending many hours on the internet. I tend to investigate things pretty thoroughly before I make any big decisions, and this was a big decision. And having looked at literally dozens and dozens of different websites in regards to culture, the things that I felt I needed to know in order to make a wise decision, and having looked at all these different websites as well as Rosarito Ensenada real estate, I kept coming back to Baja 123 because it answered the questions that I had in my mind as they came up. I'd have a question, I felt very comfortable going to Baja 123 and finding the answers, not only in regards to real estate issues, but in regards to day-to-day living, television service, electrical service. I mean, just virtually every question that I had that I needed answered, I could find on Baja 123. I kept coming back. I ultimately made a call. I believe the first person I had the pleasure of visiting was Eddie Huerta. Eddie told me he would have their top rep contact me as soon as possible. He said, please get back to me when she does. It was a question like, maybe she won't, so please let me know when she does. It wasn't 2 hours. Within 2 hours, I was fortunate to get a call from Zinnia Quezada. I spoke with Zinnia for probably an hour at that time on the phone. This had to have been prior to us coming down here in February, so it was probably sometime in January this year. Zinnia asked all the right questions. I have some experience in real estate. I was a licensed real estate agent in Hawaii for a while, and Zinnia asked all the right questions. She was very specific in her questions, said all the right things. I knew what the right things were to say, and she said them all. I was very excited to be able to meet her in February. We spent several days together while we were here in February. She stayed in constant contact, sending me updates on the real estate market, what's available, from February until we finally got down here a month and a half ago. We've now had the pleasure of dealing with her on a regular basis. She's always there, answers every question, gets back to me in a timely fashion, does everything I would expect a top-notch real estate person to do. I discussed before, I would recommend Rosarito to Ensenada area, anywhere in here, very highly. It's more than I expected. I have no concerns. I have in regards to day-to-day living. Safety issues are just not an issue in my mind. I've met wonderful people. We've had wonderful experiences. The people at Baja 123 have been exceptionally professional and knowledgeable, and I would recommend this very highly to anybody that's considering making a move to anywhere outside the U.S.